Hello everyone, it's Tracy. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks very much for joining me. So today I'm doing a project share assembly tutorial for a corset card using the Large Corset Die available from the KSCRAFT Lovers store, and has been designed by Nicole Silhouette here on YouTube, and I shall link her channel in the description box below. Here is a picture of the completed card. This is a shaped card that I have created using a technique called partial die cutting, which I shall show in the following tutorial. So let's get started. These are the dies that make up the Large Corset Die set. And you'll need a piece of cardstock, and I'm using Nina 80-pound Solar White. It's 9 inches by 7 inches and scored at 4.5. I'm going to take this die from the die set and place it along the folded edge of the card. It's going to hold it in place with some purple tape. And you can see that I've got part of the die hanging over the edge. And where it's hanging over the edge there, it will not cut. So I'm now going to run this through my die cutting machine, and now we have a side opening corset shaped card. I've gone ahead and cut the other die pieces out, and the paper collection I am using is from KSCRAFT called Everlasting, and the sheet here is called Blushing. This pink sheet of card is also from KSCRAFT, and its colour is Tutu. And the other pieces there have been cut from 80-pound Nina Solar White. To create the pink corset piece here, I've used this die and I've cut it out again from the Tutu coloured cardstock, and I've trimmed off the lace pieces by hand, and this is going to create a layering piece to go under this lacy corset piece, as I felt it needed a bit of a lift as it looked a bit lost on the white cardstock. So I'm just checking it out here to make sure I'm happy with how that's going to look, and I think that's looking good. So I'm going to glue the layering piece on top of the card base. The glue I'm using today is Nuvo glue, and this glue is new to me and I'm liking it very much. So I'm just going to apply that to the back of that layering piece and push it down into place. And part of that die cut will hang over the edge from where we did the partial die cut, and I will just trim that off with my scissors. And that will neaten up that edge. And moving on to the next piece that will go in place, it's that lacy piece. And I'm just positioning that to see if I like how that's looking. And I'm thinking that I'd actually like this piece to have a little bit more dimension. So I'm just holding it up. So I go ahead and I cut 3 more of that lacy piece from 80-pound Nina White, and I'm going to stack them together and stack that piece on top. And I'm liking how that looks with that added dimension. So I glue all those pieces together, and I'm liking how that's looking. So I go ahead and I put some glue on the back of those stacked die cuts. And what I could have done here was I could have die cut these pieces out of cardstock that had been backed with the stickered adhesive, but I didn't think of it at the time. So glue does it just as well. Just takes a little bit longer, that's all. So I'm making sure I get good coverage of glue on the back of this die cut before pressing it down into place. And the good thing about using glue here is that we've got a little bit of wriggle room to position it into the right position. So I'm just pressing that down, making sure the glue's getting a good hold. And I'm happy with how this is looking so far. So I'm just going to glue this last piece into place. And I think they call these the ribs or the bones of the corset. And they would be the pieces that give the corset strength, that would hold all your bits and pieces in. Getting a good coverage of glue there and just sticking that down into place. Taking care to line it up carefully so that the glue gets a good hold. And there's our little corset card ready to decorate. So I'm happy with how this is looking so far, especially the added dimension that the stacked die cuts have given that lace piece of the corset. I'm not sure if you can see it properly on the video, but it pops in real life. Included in the die set are these bow dies. There's 1 large one and 2 smaller ones, and I've cut that out of the Tutu cardstock, which matches in with that layering piece. and I'm going to position them onto the corset like so, and I'm using my Nuvo glue to stick them on. Just taking care to put them into place nicely. From KSCRAFT I have some rhinestones here, they're self-adhesive. And to begin with, I put a larger one in the centre of the large bow and the next size down on the two smaller bows, but I end up changing that. You can see me putting them into place there. And then I'm going to run a line of them down the middle as I'm indicating here. With these rhinestones, I don't actually like the self-adhesive stick that's on them, so I always go back and glue these down with the Nuvo glue or whatever glue I'm using, because they don't seem to stay stuck, I have found. So I'm just putting these into place. And I'm having a look at it, and this is where I'm deciding I don't really like the rhinestone placement on the bows. So I take off the smaller ones and I replace them with the bigger ones. And they're not much bigger, but big enough to make a difference. And I remove that one off the middle bow altogether. And I've decided to put one of these pretty pink roses in the centre, and I like the look of that much better. So I glue that in place. Normally I would stick down these flowers with the hot glue, but the Nuvo glue seems to be doing the job quite well. So I'm liking the way this is looking now, and I've gone ahead and stuck all those rhinestones down with the glue. And I've decided to add some shimmer to the bows with my aqua shimmer pen. And this never shows up on videos, but in real life it does look nice. And I put a little bit of aqua shimmer pen onto the rose as well. And I'm happy with how this is looking. It's time now to move on to the sentiment strip, and I have the sentiment strip here, and I'm going to put some 3M Scotch foam tape on the back of it, and I'm also going to put some Nuvo glue on the back of it as well, so that I can manoeuvre it around and get it into place. For the sentiment, I am using Simple Sentiments Background by Tailored Expressions, and it says, "You are simply fabulous." So this card could be used for any occasion. I'm just taking my time here, making sure the sentiment is straight and even. Before pressing it into place. So that's my shaped corset card finished for today, and I have another one here that I made previously that I made from metallic cardstock, and I used silver on the front of it as well, and that gave it a different look altogether, and they both stand up nicely. I hope you get some inspiration from these cards today and that you give partial die cutting a try. Don't forget to check the description box down below for the link to where you can buy these dies, and if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would really love that too. Thanks very much for watching today, have a great day, and until next time, it's bye for now.